Auckland's Museum of Transport and Technology holds their Live Day events on the third Sunday of each month, with each Live Day having a particular theme. In this case, it was the railways. On this occasion, 5 locomotives were in steam on the Western Springs Railway, out at the M.O.T.A.T site. As always, trams were shuttling back and forth between the two M.O.T.A.T sites, but none of the vintage New Zealand trams were running. This time, we only saw 321 and 893, examples of the Melbourne W2 and SW6 classes respectively, along with the unique Baldwin Steam Tram No. 100. To my disappointment, the ex-Wellington double-decker tram No. 47 wasn't running despite the good weather that day. On the plus side, an older Auckland trolley bus was doing short demonstration runs within the museum grounds, and I'll be giving this machine her own dedicated video.
Behind the yellow line! Behind the yellow line!
Before going out to the Western Springs Railway, we had a brief look around the model railway at M.O.T.A.T 1. This layout features scratch-built 1:64 scale models of various New Zealand Railways equipment, but all that was actually running was a 1:87 scale imitation DX from the Brazilian company M.O.T.A.T.
Alright, shall we go to the next stage? Shall we see maybe we can buy you a new train at the end.
Next stop, Motion's Corner! Motion's Corner, next stop!
No, because I still have something to do that and I want to like we're going to go, yeah, we're going to try to get off it. And also, yeah, you can also get off it. So good? You want to ring the bell for me?
Out of all the active steam locomotives, I thought the most notable was the 060 tank number 2475. She was built by W.G. Bagnall of Stafford, England, in 1932, and originally worked at the Tormoana freezing works in Hawke's Bay. She ran there until the late 1970s, and has since been saved for preservation by Mainline Steam Trust, who you may recall from their recent excursion with JB 1236. If my research is correct, 2475 was dressed up to look like Thomas the Tank Engine in 1997. I recall seeing 2475 at Mainline Steam's, now demolished, Parnell Depot a few times in 2011. In those days, she was used to help light up the oil-fired locomotives, such as JA 1275, ahead of the latter going out on a big excursion. Prior to November 2025, the last time I saw 2475 running was in March 2024, during a Day Out with Thomas event at the Glenbrook Vintage Railway. Now that the locomotive's at M.O.T.A.T, I wonder what the GVR will use as a stand-in for Thomas if they ever do another DOWT event. On the subject of locomotives built by WG Bagnall, 2475 reminded me of two engines that I saw during my UK trip, namely New Standard 18, number 2296 Victor at the Lakeside and Haverthwaite Railway, and narrow gauge 440 tank number 2819 Sir George Nunez at the Linton and Barnstaple Railway. It was finally time to ride along the Western Springs Railway, with Bagnall 2475 doing the honours. The line is only 1 kilometre long, but it's quite steeply graded, and the engines get a decent workout on the hill. Upon arrival at the top station, we found a Bertha, the tiny 040 well tank built by Ornstein and Koppel, shuttling up and down the yard with L533, a freight wagon modified to carry passengers. Meanwhile, the other tank engines were kept busy alternating between the two consists on the, for want of a better word, main line. While all that was going on, you could find a D170 parked outside the workshop. This 240 tank engine was built by Nielsen and Company of Glasgow, Scotland in 1880, and worked for New Zealand Railways, and later the Whakatu Freezing Works in Hawke's Bay, over a long career lasting from 1880 right up until 1960, when she was donated to M.O.T.A.T. From 1961 to 1975, she was displayed at what we now know as the M.O.T.A.T 1 site, and following long periods of storage in Tokomaru and later Christchurch, they brought her to Helensville Station for static display in 2000. Indeed, the last time I recall seeing her prior to November 2025 was back in November 2019, when she was still in Helensville. She arrived at the Western Springs Railway by truck in November 2024, and although the museum doesn't have any immediate restoration plans, she can at least be stored under cover once again. I recommend looking for a post on the Western Springs Railway's Facebook page for a more in-depth explanation of D170's history. For reference, the post was made on the 5th of November 2024. Seeing as I can't think of anything else to say now, I think I'll leave you to enjoy the rest of the footage I recorded at the Western Springs Railway on Sunday the 16th of November 2025. To close off the video, we'll see L507 and F180 passing the driveway crossing, located at what I think is the line's halfway point.
Yeah.